Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another live stream. Welcome back to another game preview. It's been a while since we've done one of these. Obviously haven't done a game preview since the final day of the season against Spurs. The Blues are back in action tomorrow at 2 p.m. against Kariobangi Sharks over in Kenya. It's our first pre-season game of the season, our first pre-season game obviously of the pre-season tour. It's going to be really interesting to see the lads getting out there, seeing how they've been working, and obviously getting to see them in the royal blue of Everton once again. Listen, it's been an absolute grueling 2 months since last seeing Everton Football Club. We've all been sitting here after such a positive end to the season, all in good spirits, thinking, you know what, I can't wait for the Blues to get back in action. I can't wait to see Andre Gomez strolling back onto the pitch in an Everton shirt. And okay, it is just pre-season, okay, it is a pre-season game against, a side that, obviously aren't going to put up that much of an issue for us, hopefully anyway. I say that, obviously touch and wood, we don't quite know what they're going to bring because we don't know an awful lot about them, but like I said, it's a first pre-season game. It's something to go off, it's something to watch, it's something to get excited about at least. Don't get me wrong, I don't quite predict the 22-0 victory that we had in last pre-season against Erding. However, I still think that we should have more than enough to breeze past the Kariobangi Sharks, but let's not disrespect them. They're obviously halfway through their season, I believe, over in Kenya. They're 9th, I think, in the Kenyan Premier League. So, listen, I think one thing we can all sit here and say is whilst we may be the better team, whilst we may have the better players, they're probably going to be a lot fitter than us at the minute because, like I said, they are, currently working their way through their season, whereas we've literally only just come back from pre-season. You've still got a bunch of players that haven't returned to pre-season yet, and that is because players come in batches, they come in groups, because obviously you can't have, the whole first team squad, the whole under-21s, the whole under-18s, all at Finch Farm at once. So the players come in groups, and then of course you've still got some players on international duty, the likes of Richarlison, still on international duty with Brazil, Yerry Mina, Jordan Pickford, they'll be on holiday, of course, because they played international games during the summer. So I've got the list of squad players that have travelled over to Kenya. I put it to the side of me there. I'll read it out for you, just obviously so we know who is going. So you've got Martin Stecklenburg, Jonas Lerzil, of course, new signing, Mason Holgate, Lewis Gibson, Morgan Schneiderlin, Dennis Andiniran, Tom Davis, Theo Walcott, Ademola Lookman, Leighton Baines, Andre Gomez, Umar Nias, Ryan Astley, Callum Connolly, Morgan Feeney, Anthony Robinson, Benny Beningame, Joe Williams, Nathan Broadhead, Fraser Hornby, Josh Bowler, and Nathangelo Markello. So a couple of, obviously, the under-21s in there, and then a few first teamers, some players that we haven't seen for a while. Mason Holgate in there, Umar Niasi in there as well, Andre Gomez in there, which is a big one. But listen, I don't think tomorrow's game is about, winning. I don't necessarily think it's about going there and putting 16 past them. I think, like I said, it's about an opportunity to see the lads back after, obviously, the summer break. Get to see how fit they are for Marco Silva to be able to sit down and think, you know what, these lads are at 50% fitness, they're at 60% fitness, let's see whereabout they are, let's see which under 3 players actually shine within a first team setup and who he's got his eye on to, maybe push through to the first team squad. Obviously, next season, we've been looking at Josh Bowler, Fraser Hornby throughout last season, obviously part of the under 23s team that won the Premier League 2 trophy, but it'd be really interesting to see how these lads manage to settle in with the first team. Of course, like I said, it's not a competitive game. It is a friendly for Sports Pisa, but we're playing against a team that are halfway through their season, a team that are going to be really fit, and a team that are going to be up for it and wanting to, obviously make a good account of themselves against the Premier League side. So I think we should be aware of that, and I do generally think Marco Silva will be aware of that. It's a Saturday, of course. Don't usually stream on a Saturday. I was a little bit busy yesterday, so I couldn't actually get a stream out. So I thought, you know what, I'm not doing anything today. It's the weekend. I'll sit down. The weather's being boss. I've been into town today to get some things for my holiday. So I thought, you know what, I'll sit down and we'll talk about the game tomorrow. CJ says, come on, you Blues. Yes, certainly. How good is it to see the Blues back in action once again? The Football Fan says, hi, hope you are doing well. James says, yes, mate. Yes, Jamie, hope you are doing well. Everton FC is the best. Hey, hope you are doing okay, mate. Jamie says, just ordered the new jersey. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Like we said, we done a video on Thursday, just a little reaction video from myself talking about the new kit. Of course, we also done quite a long video on Wednesday night talking about the leaks, which happened to actually be the new kit. I personally really like it. It'll be interesting. This is the first live stream since the kit's been revealed. It'll be interesting to see what you guys have to say in the comments about it, but I really like it personally. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, however it comes out while I'm away, so I'm gonna hopefully ask somebody to go up to the shop and pick it up for me, and then obviously it'll be there for when I get back. Mo says, yes Cam, yes Mo, is there any other way of watching the game? I'm not too sure. I know if you're a season ticket holder, Everton emailed a link out to a live stream, for season ticket holders to watch. In terms of other ways, I'm not entirely sure. There may be a stream somewhere. I don't quite know. I'll probably just be watching it on the stream that Everton have sent out tomorrow afternoon, hopefully. Jamie says, will you be doing a watch along? I won't actually be doing a watch along because I don't actually think I'm going to be home sat at my computer when the game's on. I'm either going to be out or I'm going to be close to going out, so I'll just catch it and then I'll have to go out actually. So I won't be doing a watch along tomorrow, but if watch alongs are something that you want me to look into doing next season, maybe for some away games, or I was going to say some home games there, but I'll be at every home game, but some away games, then let me know in the comment section down below, of course. The football fan says, hey Cameron, I hope Zuma stays at us, Chelsea. He looks very happy to be in Dublin for our first pre-season game against Bohemians in Dublin on Wednesday. Looking forward to seeing Frank. Fair enough. I hope he doesn't stay at you. I hope he comes to Everton Football Club, but I think we'll have to wait a couple of weeks for any movement in that sort of transfer saga. Obviously, Marco Silva and Marcel Brands are going to be over in Kenya. They're going to be focusing on the team that they've got. They're going to be focusing on getting the next bunch of players into Finch Farm as well, come next week and the week after. And I dare say we won't hear much about the Zuma situation for another couple of weeks. If it happens, I don't know. I'm not very optimistic at this moment. Football Fan also says, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Hope you are doing well. He also says, watch your pre-season schedule in full. I can't remember the fixtures off the top of my head, but I have got a live stream out from a couple of weeks ago, discussing all of the fixtures, so you'll be able to see them all there. I know we play Werder Bremen in Germany. I know we play Wigan. I know we play Sevilla as well, I think. So yeah, it's got some tough games, but hopefully we get a decent pre-season under our belt. And at the end of the day, it's about building fitness. It's about, getting the lads used to playing football again, getting the lads used to the physical side of it, ready for the Premier League season. Of course, it's not all about the results. Shabba says, hi Cam, I'm not going to mention the kit bollocks and what a disaster the reveal was by the master of kit manufacturing, Umbro. You're not happy with that one, are you? Yeah, listen, everyone's got an opinion on it. Some people really like it. Some people really don't. I personally really like it. But if you don't, of course, that's fair enough. That's your opinion. Football Fantasy says, can you make a list of players a bit bigger? It's very small. If I make it bigger, it will go over my face. Like I said, I've just read them out now. I don't want to sort of block my face, so I do apologise about that. It's something I'll look into doing for the next team. Let's see if I can make it a tiny bit bigger. There you go. Hopefully it doesn't go over my face there. Makes the setup look a bit crap, but oh well. Mitchell says, feel sorry for you as if Pickford picks up a knock. That Lossell is dog shit like. Fair enough. I will have to see him play. I dare say we will see him play. In fact, I pretty much know we'll see him play tomorrow, so we'll be able to see what he's about. Shabba says, I'm not. Mo says, I don't really like the new kit. It should have always had yellow on it for me, like the 97-99 one. I did actually think it would have had some sort of yellowy green colour on it from, obviously, the training kit that we seen. But I don't know. Maybe the yellow is being saved for the third kit or an away kit. Who knows? Everton FC is the best. Says the kit looks kind of funky. I will have to get used to it. Fair enough. That's another thing I've seen a lot of people saying they're gonna have to get used to it. Football Fantasy says, why are you going away to? Will there be streams then? I'm going. Where are you going away to? I'm going to Mexico for 2 weeks. There will be videos. I might try and do the odd stream on my phone, but there'll definitely still be hopefully 2 or 3 videos a week just talking about the news, like I've done on Thursday, like I've done on Wednesday. The Football Fan says there is a YouTube channel showing most of the pre-season games. There you go. How's the fan cams coming along? Obviously waiting for the next season, waiting for the season to start, and then hopefully we'll be able to get some of them sorted as well. Jamie says watch-alongs will be brilliant, mate. Definitely, we'll look into that one then. Mo says you should do watch-alongs for all the pre-season games. I'll try and do them for the games that I can sit down and do. Unfortunately, I can't do that for tomorrow's game. But if there's games that I'm just sitting at my desk and I can do a watch-along, then I'd be more than happy to do that. Everton The football fan chat, sorry, says, would be nice to see other Everton fans on via Skype. Be nice to watch a few discussions. You can enable it very easily on OBS, just a few clicks. Yeah, that's another thing I'm going to look to do before now and the end of the season. Once I come back from my holiday in a few weeks, I'm going to crack down and I'm going to, get different fans on the channel, get obviously the Skype situation sorted, fan cams and all that, and hopefully maybe a podcast as well in the future. We're going to try and sort that one out. Jamie says, Kariobangi Sharks a decent team? Listen, I'm not going to lie, I don't know a lot about them. I know they're 9th in the Kenyan Premier League. I know it's a pre-season friendly, obviously, for us. I know they're going to be a lot fitter than us. They're going to, have had a lot more game time, obviously, in recent time. In terms of their quality, I think we should, on paper, breeze past them, but again, sometimes fitness is a massive, well, all the time, fitness is a massive part of the game, and if we come and we're not fit and we're not ready to compete in 90 minutes, then they may get the better of us. But I dare say, in terms of quality on the pitch, we should have a lot more to be able to beat them. Everton FC is the best, says, I'm going to that Wigan match. Good stuff. The football fan says, I like the Everton kit, even being a Chelsea fan. Thank you very much. CJ says, watch the scenes if Stecklenberg starts. Yeah, go fuck yourself, says, have you got a girlfriend? I do. Mo Lester says, no, he's gay. No, I'm not. Not there's anything wrong with that, but I'm not. Everton FC is the best, says, are you going to any of the pre-matches? No, unfortunately, like I said, they all pretty much fall either as I'm away or when I just get home. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to. However, I'll try and catch as many of them as possible, whether before I go away or after I come home. I've just seen a comment then from Go F Yourself. I'm not going to read it because it's a bit personal, but I don't think the stream's about that one. Reason says, missed what time the first pre-season is. Anyone know where to see it to? It's at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and if you're on a season ticket holder, Everton tweeted out a live stream. If not, I probably assume you'll be able to find a live stream somewhere on the internet. The football fan chat said earlier on that there's a website or a YouTube channel streaming, the Premier League game. So not that I condone that, but yeah. So yeah. Kariobangi Sharks. Listen, I'm gonna butcher that name every single time I say it, so I'm just gonna say Sharks from now on. So the Sharks, obviously, like I mentioned before, 9th in the Kenyan Premier League. We're going over to Kenya as part of, obviously, with Sports Pisa. I dare say it's some sort of marketing tour, of course, with the new kit just being released. The lads are going to be wearing the new kit for the first time tomorrow afternoon. And for us, I think, as Evertonians and for Everton as a football club, we should see this game as pretty much just almost like, and I don't mean to say this to disrespect Kariobangi Sharks, but almost just like a training game, a game that you would have at the end of a training session at Finch Farm. Obviously, the lads have been back. The lads that have travelled over to Kenya have been back in pre-season training since Monday. They've been working hard at Finch Farm. They travelled yesterday or late Thursday, I believe, and then obviously they've got a game at the end of the week against the Sharks. So like I said, they're gonna have the edge on the fitness side, in terms of, obviously they've played a lot more games of recent. They're midway through their season. However, we'll obviously have the edge on the quality side as well. I don't expect it to be another 22-0 like the first pre-season game of last season. However, I still think that we should have more than enough to beat Kariobangi Sharks. However, again, it's not necessarily about going there and blowing them away. It's not necessarily about going there and putting 18 goals past them. If you look at last season's pre-season, we absolutely battered Erding 22-0, and then we really struggled in every other pre-season game after that. In fact, I don't even think we won a pre-season game after that game. So it's not always about going there and absolutely battering them. For me, when I watch the game tomorrow, I'm going to be looking at the fitness of the players. I'm going to be looking at how sharp the players are, because that's really important. Like I said, we haven't got an easy pre-season run this season. We've got a lot of decent sides that we're going to be coming up against. Werder Bremen, Sevilla, of course, sides that are European quality sides. So it's important that when we're looking at the game tomorrow, we're not just looking at how many goals we can score, or if Fraser Hornby starts, whether he scores an hat-trick or not. We're looking at the sharpness and the fitness of the players. Of course, they're not going to be fully fit. Of course, you're not going to see Andre Gomez with, the touch of an absolute god like you see midway through the Premier League season, because they've only been back a week after having 2 months off. However, like I said, after a week's worth of training, you should see the signs of the fitness coming back. You should see the signs of obviously the sharpness coming back as well. Now, obviously, the likes of Richarlison, Bernard haven't travelled, Luca Dean hasn't travelled, Jordan Pickford. Those are because either these players have been given a little bit more time in order to get back to Finch Farm. Like I said, the players come in groups. They come in sort of They come in groups, so there's not too many players at Finch Farm. And then obviously you've got some players that have been on international duty as well. So for me, like I said, reading out the squad list before and having a little look at the squad list, you can see it to the side of me there, or if you haven't already, you can log on to Twitter and go and see it over on Everton's Twitter. I think what Marco Silva has set out with this squad is he's taken a lot of the under-23 players, and I don't just think he's taken the under-23 players to fill a space. I don't just think he's gone into David Unsworth and gone, right, I want him, and him. I think he's picked the players that he believes could have a possible future in the first team, and I think he's picked the players that he believes could possibly break into the first team next season. Now, if you're looking at the squad list, if you're looking at the players that he's taken, you know, we sat here and we spoke about last season about how the Everton under-23s won the Premier League too. We spoke about players like Morgan Feeney, who's going, Lewis Gibson, who's going, Josh Bowler, Fraser Hornby, Benny Beningame, of course, who we've already seen in the first team, Anthony Robinson, a left back, of course, who, you know, we've been looking at for a few seasons as to possibly breaking into the first team. These are all players that Marco Silva's going to be looking at possibly coming into the first team next season. Now, obviously, we've spoken about how Marcel Brands got a massive job in getting rid of the dead wood in the summer, in getting rid of the players that we don't need. And I think Marcel Brands is probably sitting there and he's probably had a little conversation with Marco Silva and said, listen, I need to get rid of 5 or 6 players this summer because they've got no chance of getting anywhere near this team going forward. However, realistically, bringing Gomez in, if we're going to attempt to bring Zuma in, if we're going to attempt to bring a striker in, I may not necessarily be able to replace a Morgan Schneiderlin. I may not necessarily be able to bring in a second striker. So Marco Silva will be looking at these under-23 players to see who is good enough to break into the squad next season. Now, obviously, it's a fantastic experience for them to go over to Kenya. It's a fantastic experience for them to get to play over there and get to obviously feel what it's like to be over there in a pre-season tour with Everton. But more importantly, this is their opportunity now to show that they are good enough to be in this first team. This is Morgan Feeney's opportunity now to show that he should be playing first team football. He's the captain of the under-23s and he's been touted to be, you know, breaking into the first team for the last couple of years. So it's almost like a now or never with Morgan Feeney, along with Benny Beningame as well. A couple of the other lads as well. So it's their time to really get their head down and say to Marco Silva, right, listen, I'm going to work my absolute bollocks off. If we're going to be looking at Andre Gomez, you're going to know, okay, you know, he's still got the quality, of course, he's still got the class, but he's not fit, he's not as sharp. But realistically, tomorrow afternoon, we should be looking at the likes of Lewis Gibson, the likes of Fraser Hornby, the likes of Morgan Feeney, and they should be absolutely tearing up the show. They should be tearing up the show, and they should be continuing to do that throughout the whole of pre-season. For me, I haven't put a predicted starting 11 up because I think it's too hard to predict. I think we'll see 2 11s tomorrow afternoon. I think we'll see a starting 11 start the first half and then a complete change around for the second half as well. I know we'll see Jonas Lersel in there, so it'll be interesting to see how he's settled in at his time at Everton Football Club. Umar Niasse, it'll be interesting to see if he gets a go, and then like I said, I'm sure we'll see the majority of those under-23 players that have been brought over by Marco Silva. I'm just going to tweet today's team out. I've just realised I haven't tweeted it out yet, so anybody on Twitter can come over and watch if they haven't already, or if they're not watching already. If you're enjoying the team so far, please do leave a like. It really, really does mean a massive amount to me. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button as well. Again, it means an absolute massive amount to me. Bear with me just 2 seconds. Let me get this tweeted out. Absolute massive game tomorrow. No, it's not. It's a pre-season game. It's a pre-season friendly, and it's our first pre-season friendly. And I think a lot of Evertonians are sort of just glad that we're back, to be honest, and I'm in that boat. I'm just glad that Everton are back. I'm glad that I can watch Andre Gomez strolling about in an Everton shirt again. I'm glad I can watch Tom Davies being boss again in an Everton shirt. And I think, you know, like I said, when you end the season so positively and on such a high note, you don't want it to end. You just want to continue. You just want to keep going. And now, obviously, we've got the lads back now. We've got it back at pre-season. We're not going to see, you know, absolutely unbelievable football, and the sharpness is there, and a team that you'll probably look at the team tomorrow and you'll probably go, oh, needs a little bit of work doing to it. That, well, yeah, it does. They've only been back a week, less than a week. They've only been back less than a week, so it's gonna, you know, they're gonna need to work on the fitness, the sharpness. They're gonna need to probably work on their ability off the ball, because they probably have, you know, lost a little bit of sharpness during obviously the break, going away with the families, going away on holiday as well. Where are we in the live comments? Mo says, do you think we could get Keane or Neres? I don't think we could get Moise Kean, to be honest with you. I do think we could get Neres. I just don't think Marcel Brands will pay the money for him. I think Neres would want the move. I think Everton, in terms of the player being a good addition to the squad, would want the move, but when you put all the components into place and you realise that Ajax want stupid amount of money for him, I just don't think Marcel Brands will pay that money. Football Fan Chat says, you need moderators for these stupid trolls. It's alright, to be honest, and now it's just a couple of comments. I don't mind it, I can deal with it myself. I choose which ones to read out and which ones not to. So Reason says, nice one, Cam, let him know it was he should know the too far at last. Everton FC is the best, says, what's your thoughts on Marco putting Tom Davies as a substitute? I know it was ages ago, but who cares? In terms of Tom Davies not being in the first team consistently, I think it's right. I don't think Tom's ready to be in the first team consistently. If you look at our midfield, and you look at our midfield post-October, when Andre Gomes first obviously broke into the team after his injury, you've got Adisa Garnagay there, you've got Andre Gomes there, and you've got Gylfi Sigurdsson there. 3 midfielders that are absolutely unbelievable at what they do. No one does Adisa Garnagay's job like he does it in the Premier League, never mind Everton. Nobody, I don't think we've got a footballer as technically as good as Andre Gomes, maybe Bernard, but definitely not a central midfielder. And Gylfi Sigurdsson bagged himself 12 goals last season, was, up there, other than Richarlison, was our highest goal scorer. So I think Tom Davies is, obviously, he understands that he's had a conversation with Marco Silva. I know he's had a conversation with Marco Silva that, Marco Silva sat there and he said, listen, you're not going to be playing first team football constantly. You're going to be needing to, come in every now and then, but you need to prove as to why, you should be in that team consistently. But I think it's the absolute right decision for him to not play every week, because he's not good. He's not better than the midfielders that we've got. However, I still think he's a very, very good footballer. CJ says, I wonder why big Kevin Morales has not gone. I think it's because he's getting sold, mate. Same reason as James McCarthy, to be honest. Mo says, would you take Costa? And Everton FC, the best, says Diego Costa. Yeah, there's been some rumours today on social media about Diego Costa and maybe him, the possibility of him signing for Everton. It's come from an apparent rumour somewhere. The Echo tweeted it, that apparently, allegedly, Farhad Moshiri has pushed Everton to sign Diego Costa. Now, I don't know who he's pushing, but apparently he has urged the club to sign Diego Costa, as he wants to make a marquee signing. Now, I believe Farhad Moshiri wants to make a marquee signing. I don't believe Farhad Moshiri has pushed Marcel Brands or Marco Silva to sign any player. I certainly don't believe they've pushed him to sign Diego Costa. One thing about Diego Costa is he's an horrible bastard. He is a fantastic footballer. However, he does not fit into Marcel Brands' plans because of his age. And one thing about Farhad Moshiri is he would not bring Marcel Brands in to then give him an instruction as to what to do. Marcel Brands is there to pursue players. Marcel Brands is there to decide which players we need and which players him and Marco Silva wants. That's not Farhad Moshiri's job, and that's why I genuinely don't believe that that rumour or that alleged sort of story that's come out of nowhere. Football Fan says, thoughts on TAW? Is that the Anfield rap, or don't you care? I don't really care, to be honest with you, but I think the dickheads. Reason says, no Costa, 3 years past his best and too old for what we're looking for. Exactly, and we'd maybe get a couple of seasons out of him and that's it, and for the money we'd have to pay for him, for the wages that would have to pay him, it's just not worth it whatsoever. Where are we? Football Fan says, I know a few Everton fans who like it. I don't know those. John says, hey Cameron, I've been watching the Mighty Blues for a long time. Thank you very much, John. I really, really do appreciate your support. Really, really does mean a massive amount to me and everybody else as well. And Everton FC says, Diego Costa, the Elephant Man. That is the chant. If you're not enjoying the stream so far, please do leave a like. Like I said, it'd be really, really appreciative. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really, really does mean a massive amount to me. So anyway, going on to the game, like I said, not Diego Costa. I nearly said Diego Costa travelled then. Andre Gomes travelled with the squad. It'd be really, really good to see him in action again. Jonas Lezel as well. The 2 new signings are over in Kenya. We've got a few first teamers in there as well. Morgan Schneiderlin. Be interesting to see where his head's at, obviously, after the Andre Gomes signing. Be interested to see the type of performance that he puts in. Umar Niasse obviously returning from his loan spell. Be really, really interested to see how that one goes as well. And then, of course, you've got the under-23s players as well. Tom Davies over in Kenya. Be interesting to see how he plays as well. Like I said, not the full squad there. Nothing to worry about whatsoever. It's just a case of that some of the lads haven't returned back from their international duties or their holidays, because the club have probably given them a little bit more time time off due to the likes of Bernard having to go obviously all the way over back to Brazil to see his family. Obviously, other lads like Richarlison, Dean, Pickford are on international duty as of now, so that's why they haven't returned. So we've got, I'd say, a mix of under-23 players and first-teamers. Like I said, for me, what we're really looking at going into tomorrow's game is the first-teamers getting their head down, starting to get used to playing football again, starting to build their fitness up, starting to build their sharpness up, starting to build their stamina up, and we're looking at the under-23 players who are going to be looking to make an impact on Marco Silva, because they don't know that this isn't going to be the only pre-season game they're going to play. Like I said, I would assume the group of players that have been taken from the 23s to Kenya will have, quite a big part to play in the entirety of our pre-season. However, we don't know that. We've got some decent sides to play in pre-season, and we don't know. It can't be confirmed that Josh Brolin, it can't be confirmed that the likes of Fraser Hornby, Morgan Feeney, it can't be confirmed that they're going to play in every single pre-season game. So if they get their opportunity tomorrow, they need to be getting their head down and proving as to why they should be in and around this first team next season. Mo says you're Barnett in your first video. Yeah, it was shocking, mate. CJ says Dean is back in Manchester. Yeah, exactly. He's probably back now from his holidays, but again, I think Luca Dean is due to return to pre-season training on Monday, along with another set of players. I'm not going to answer that one again. Go F yourself, because it's personal and it's nothing really to do with anybody else. John says, do you think we will sell Morales and McCarthy in the summer? I do think we'll sell the pair of them, to be honest with you. I don't know how much we'll get back from the pair of them, but I do generally think both of them will leave the club. Everton FC is the best, says, we're all getting all the Barca players, aren't we? Luca Dean, or however you spell his name, and Andre Gomes. Yeah, we're just, you know what? It does me head in, because you look over on Twitter and you look at social media and there's players saying, oh, you've only got Barca rejects, you're signing Barca rejects. Hang on. Andre Gomes' contract for Barcelona had in it that if he was to win the Ballon d'Or, they'd have to give Valencia more money. He had a buyout clause of something like 150 million. If we're signing players that Barcelona think are good enough to play for Barcelona, fucking bring them on. Whether they end up being good enough to play for Barcelona, I don't give a shit. Bring them on. Because I'd rather have Barcelona rejects than the rejects of, I don't know, United or, any other team that we used to sign our rejects from. Personally, and plus they're not rejects either. Luca Dean is one of the best left backs in Europe. Yerry Mina is a fantastic centre half, and Andre Gomes is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. And I stick to this decision. Andre Gomes would get in every single side in the Premier League, bar the top two. The Football Fan says, thoughts on Toffee TV? Really like them. Absolutely sound lads. Really top lads. CJ says, you forgot Big Yeti. Yeah, of course. He'll probably return to pre-season training either this week or next week. Obviously, he was playing in the Copa America with Colombia. Everton FC is the best, says, I like Toffee TV. They're not bad, to be honest. My favourite Everton channels are this one and Toffee TV. Thank you very much. That really does mean a massive amount to me. Thank you very much for that one. And Mo says, what do you think will be our starting 11 for this season? It's hard to say now, to be honest. It's hard to say now. Jordan Pickford in goal, Luca Dean left back, Keane and Yerry. I'm going to go for the first game of the season. I'm going to go for, obviously, our first game against Palace. I'm really not optimistic about the Zuma signing at the minute, so I'm going to go Keane and Mina, right back Seamus Coleman, Andre Gomes, Gay and Sigurdsson, and then hopefully Richarlison, Richarlison, Neres and Bernard. However, who knows? Maybe Maxi Gomez in there, if rumours are true. Maybe another striker in there. Who knows? Mo says Gomez would definitely get in Liverpool's team cam. Fair enough. I wouldn't even argue about that one, to be honest with you. Ian says, think we need to get more goals from defence 15. Yeah, we do, definitely. We do. We need to be utilising the height of Yerry Mina and his attacking presence as well, because he has got a really good attacking presence. Football Fantasy says, are there any other Everton channels apart from you and Toffee TV? Yeah, there's quite a few. There's Grand Old Team, there's Toffee Blues, there's a few Everton channels, decent Everton channels as well. Everton FC is the best, says, have you ever noticed that Luca Dean always bites his thumb when he scores a free kick? Yeah, as it must be his preferred celebration, I'm not too sure. And Everton FC is the best, says, I'm not too sure. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, but like I said, listen, if you're watching this team tomorrow, if you're watching the game tomorrow, I wouldn't be too, I wouldn't look too much into it. If we aren't playing fantastically, if the strikers are missing opportunities in front of goal, if Andre Gomez's touch isn't as godly as it was towards the back end of last season, I wouldn't pay too much attention to it. It's the first game back. The lads haven't even had a week of Finch Farm yet after returning from holiday, so it is effectively a training game, and that's not to disrespect Kariobangi Sharks. That's just to say we're going over to Kenya as part of the Sports Pisa project. We're going over there. We're going to play a game. They're going to be a lot fitter than us. They're going to have a lot more stamina than us. They're going to be in better shape because obviously they're partway through their season. However, we should have the quality on the pitch to get through them, and I don't think it'll be another 22-0, but if we can beat them 3 or 4-0, and obviously it's a good start to pre-season. What we're looking for tomorrow, moreover than a result, we're looking for to see the sharpness of the lads, and we're looking to see how the under-23s come into the squad and the impact that they make on the first team. We've got players that are going over there. Davis, who is on the brink of being in the first squad. You've got Benny Beningame as well, who I dare say is on the brink of being in the first squad, so it'll be interesting to see which of the other under-23 players can really get their head down and give Marco Silva something to think about going into the rest of pre-season, then of course ultimately into the Premier League season next season. I said next season about 10 times there, apologies. CJ says Garner needs to score more. I agree, and Mo says all the other Everton YouTube channels film their videos on potatoes. Fair enough. Is the quality good enough? Is this quality good enough? If it is, I'm glad it is. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's team. A massive thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do leave a like. It really does mean a massive amount to me. Hit that subscribe button if you are new as well. We'll be back on Monday night for the game review to this game. Hopefully we're sitting here saying it's a positive one, regardless of the result. Hopefully we're sitting here saying it was boss to see the Blues back in action. Andre Gomez is looking fit. The rest of the first teamers are looking fit, and some of the under-23s are looking sharp as well, and looking like they really want to break into this team. So let's hope that's what we're talking about on Monday. Please do leave a like if you have enjoyed today's team. It'd be really appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. Everton FC is the best says, have you seen that song that Everton fan made, the song him singing Ghana, oh Rooney left? Oh yeah, I have. Mo says you should do the live teams for longer. I do 45 minutes to an hour live teams. I'm not feeling great today. I've got a little bit of a headache, so that's why I'm cutting today short. But usually I do quite long live teams, and going into the game as well, going into the season as well. Sorry, the live teams will be a lot longer. I don't say that. My head's everywhere here. Everton FC is the best says, I hope the game goes well, as do I. For me, it's the biggest thing is that the lads go into the game and come out of the game with the same level of fitness, if not fitter. We don't get any injuries, we don't have any troubles, we don't have any pulls or tears or anything like that. We just go in, we do what we need to do, and we come out obviously hopefully a lot fitter, and hopefully with a good result as well. And Mo says also, can you say hi to the young Law, the Black Rhino for me? Hi to them. Anyway, on that note, that's going to do it for today's team. A massive thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do leave a like, subscribe if you're new as well. I'll be back on Monday for another live team, a game review, talking about this game, and hopefully talking about Everton's first pre-season win of the summer. But thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, like I said, leave a like. I'll see you guys on Monday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.